All right, everybody, we are back. Again, a big thank you for sticking with us. Toogie and Sin back, of course, to call another go around. And I know we're both excited for this one, partner. Frölunda and hREDS ready to go for a regular season matchup. As both of these two clubs, we'll talk about it, enter towards the top of the standings. It's great to still see, despite some changes to both lineups over the past few seasons, this still feels like as much of a heavyweight tilt as ever.
No, yeah, especially given the context of what happened in the last season when Frölunda eliminated hREDS in the semifinals to advance on to the ECL Elite Finals against Tunnel Vision here. It's going to be a very good matchup. Very different from the last one. We're not going to see as much wide open action, that's for sure. Both teams play a more kind of a fluid and system based game rather than flying up the ice at all times. That can happen if you find those breakdowns, but with hREDS, that 5-man line on the blue line, it's going to be definitely a lot harder to find some zone entries at times.
Absolutely. Now, of course, before we get into the breakdowns, we'll look at the latest results around the league, or we'll go to the standings first. That's fine by me too. As we kind of talked about it, for Lunda entering play today, currently in first, hREDS in third, with the two games at hand. But if Frölunda were able to pick up the points here, you start to get that separation where you're really only looking at Tunnel Vision, who might be able to make up that ground. So this is a huge matchup for hREDS to make sure they're still in that top tier, especially when, Sim, we've talked about it. You continue to have teams like Hymo that are getting better. Lexans, as the rookie club, have been incredible this season so far. And then you have Red Hawks also in that mix of this veteran group that's getting it done. This is a pivotal matchup for hREDS tonight.
Yeah, and on the side of from that last matchup, Nordic Stars move up from 14th place all the way to 6th with those
Yes.
4 points. I mean, that's just how quick things can turn around right there. Obviously, they're going to have a few people behind them with games in hand, but that's one good day, at this stage of the season can essentially turn your season right around. And that's what we saw from Nordic Stars. Unfortunately, Goons will move to 5-9, and that will put them still in that dangerous relegation position.
Absolutely. Again, as always, we mentioned top eight make the playoffs, bottom four in those danger spots. You get a look, though, at some of the results going on. And how about that? A split between Urbro and Totarit. Urbro needed that one desperately. Lexans, after a 5-0 victory over Roots Gaming, dropped the second matchup. That's a huge result there for Roots. And then, of course, as you saw on broadcast, Nordic Stars with the double over Goons, still waiting for that second game to be reported. But Sin, I mean, again, just when you think you might know where certain teams are going to be, that second matchup result comes in, and all of a sudden it doesn't look so bad for one side or the other. But here you go. You get a look at the numbers so far for Frölunda and hREDS, and as expected, high scoring, excellent defense, and great records as a result.
Yeah, absolutely. And, especially that defensive number 4 for Lindo is even more impressive considering they have more games played than hREDS do, too, in fact. So the offense about on par with one another, but currently for Linda slightly better on the defensive side of things. hREDS with the better power play and penalty kill for that matter. And they're at it once again. Still haven't surrendered a power play goal against yet.
With that, let's take a look at the lineups for this one. For Frölunda, Pawanso, Potzloff, and Eki, the front three. Nasu, Stelia, Flyer, Kungan on defense, and Hans Salino in goal tonight. On the other side, Villapoika, Benito, and Nikki Dangles, Domi and Temu on defense, and Teme in goal, as we have expected to see. But we'll talk about the goaltenders a little bit more in a minute. Let's start off with the centers. Another showdown between Benito and Potzloff. And, Sin, so far, I mean, when we've seen hREDS in action, we've talked about this maybe being Benito's year, and he has been outstanding. But you look on the other side, and of course, Potzloff continues as well to be his rival. These two of the world's best when you're talking. I mean, it doesn't matter what scene you're talking about. These are two of the best players in the world, and they go head to head yet again here.
Yeah, it's going to be a great, exciting matchup. Potslov just always seems to be kind of silently getting all of those points, whereas Benito, a lot of those some of those points coming from those highlight reel plays, particularly thinking back to that, that L skating in the middle to set up the goal, or the toe drag shot that he buried is just insane. Yeah, you said it. I mean, these are two of the best centers, two of the best players in the world.
With that, let's take a look at the winger matchup here next. As again, it is Palazzo and Eki squaring off here against Villapoica and Nikki Dangles. And Sin, I was caught off guard there for a moment because I happened to notice the Eki point total so far. And this season, the past few weeks, really the past few months, it has been Eki getting back to that peak level in a 1v1 setting. Of course, we know he had success this weekend, and now in a sixes setting. Again, he played defense for the club last year. He's back up to forward, and he is on. I mean, for lack of a better term, I see the man in chat. He's on a rampage to kick this
Hmm.
season off.
Yeah, 100%. And, his partner over there, Puanzo, a bit lower on the point totals. But that being said, both Villapoica and Nikki Dangles as well, hREDS haven't got that incredibly strong offense. I mean, they're still doing good, but it's not quite to the level that we've necessarily come to expect from this team.
Of course, we have the defensive matchup here next on the other side. It is Nastastelia and Flyer Kungan, Domi and Temu. Of course, Flyer Kungan, the man who drops back in defense for Frölunda this season, still at over a point per game mark. Whereas the other side, Sin, of course, we talked about it for hREDS, the big X factor this season. You lose King of Apes, but Domi is back in the lineup. Point total, maybe not where he'd look for it to be, but of course, from a defensive standpoint, there aren't too many better.
No, both Domi and Temu on the point. It just gives you so much good two-way play from both of them. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Domi, especially in the neutral zone, is incredible. Just the way he's able to position himself to intercept those long passes, his pokes at the line. Both he and Temu are phenomenal in that regard, and both are hovering around that point per game mark as well. So you could just see how good they are on either side of the puck. Nosustelia, at point 0.5 points per game, not necessarily where he wants to be in the production side of things, but there's plenty of season left.
And of course, the goaltenders round this out for Frölunda. Hanselinho is in. And on the other side, it is Teme. And Sin, we kind of talked about it heading into this season. Frölunda, first and foremost, always rotate. Hanselinho played more regular season games than Kape last year. He's back in 6-0 on the season. And Teme, we knew would get a few more games this season. It's been a 6-6 split with FaZe so far due to some limited availability for FaZe so far this year. But Teme, I mean, equaling the output. FaZe also with an 82% save percentage, but a 2.0 goals against average. So Teme has been more than suitable to backstop this hREDS lineup.
Absolutely, and two shutouts to his credit as well. Very, very good so far. And for Hanselinho, maybe the save percentage not quite as high as he would like it, especially with some of the other numbers, including that low goals against average. But we talk about it all the time with those top teams. Sometimes as a goaltender, you're not facing a whole lot of total shots in every single game, and the ones that squeak through are those higher quality opportunities.
So, with that, we are just a few moments away from kicking off the games here. Worth noting, of course, you still have a little bit of time, not much, but a little bit of time. So, make sure to get your predictions in sportsgamer.gg/ECL prediction. Prizes available to those who get it right and for those who get those predictions in first. So, you might be a little bit late to the party, but as long as you make sure you get it right, you could end up with one of the variety of different prizes that we have available there. So again, sportsgamer.gg/ECL prediction. Let us know how you think it's going to play out, especially too. I mean, hey, the risk to not getting those in early is that you have a better idea of how the standings are looking. But as Sin talked about, we just saw Nordic Stars go up about 6 spots from 2
Yeah.
wins. So is it really that easy at the end of
No.
the day? As we get a look there at the lineups, elite edges across the board, of course, it really does come down to the silvers. Although I appreciated that last matchup, Sin, for having some different golds. But huge moment here. Big series for both of these clubs as Frölunda look to extend their lead at the top, and hREDS look to prove that they're still very much in the running for that #1 playoff seed.
Absolutely, but yeah, you said it. This matchup is huge because yeah, you do want those points, but it's arguably even more important to deny points to the other team. So anytime it goes to overtime, it gets a bit tougher to be able to do that. But we'll see what happens here.
Very true. So here we go. Game 1 of 2 underway. It is hREDS in the home red unis taking on Frölunda. Again, Frölunda, that marvelous 12-1-1 record on the season so far. Early offside call here against hREDS. See who's able to find that breakthrough. I mean, Sin, you mentioned it. We probably won't see as wild of back and forth play like we saw last time, but between these two clubs, you never quite know and how this might play out. Case in point, you never know what you might see. No icing on the play. You know, I haven't seen one of those really for the majority of NHL 23, so always nice to get the reminder. Strong forecheck here for hREDS. Potzloff turns it over. Shot taken straight to the chest for Hanselinho.
Yeah, really kind of opportunity right there for hREDS. Just a quick shot on after that turnover was forced, but I do like them kind of pressing early and trying to force some turnovers with a forecheck.
Short side opportunity for Villapoika. Bouncing puck here, Potzloff. Finds now Sustelia. Strongest start to the opening 5 minutes for Frölunda. Is Tame risky play there, but gets it over to the corner. Trouble here. Frölunda's forecheck now going to work. Now Sustelia to Flyer Kungen. Potzloff back to him. Good patience at the point. Potzloff low, loose puck recovered. In front, Potzloff goes down. Power play coming up for Frölunda. Their first bit of sustained zone time, and it results in the tripping call. Nicky Dangles go into the box.
Yeah, very good work on the perimeter to open up that pass into the middle, and you saw Potzloff, the second he got it, tried to turn towards the goaltender, get a shot away. And kind of a desperation poke right there coming out from Teemu that draws the tripping call. We get a chance to see that Frölunda power play go to work.
Impressive set here as well. Flyer Kungen. Step in. Potzloff tried to get it over. Kungen recovers yet again. Quick movement from Frölunda. Slowly sneaking in. They run into a bit of trouble. Benito for Teemu, who will send it all the way down. Hanselinho quickly plays that one up. Trouble at the line. Puanzo still going to work. Puck cleared out yet again. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Potzloff nowhere to go. Villapoika was able to sweep it out. And an excellent kill for hREDS as Benito intercepts that. We're back to 5-on-5.
Yeah, it's so hard to regain that line, especially against hREDS, even on the penalty kill, and you saw it in action right there. Just a second Frölunda lost his own. They couldn't set it up again.
Potzloff back for Recchi. Wrap around, ended up on the far side, but Teme is able to cover so close.
Yeah, a bit of frustration coming out there from Potzloff as well. He knew how close that was. Great play to start working that down low, quick passings to get him that wraparound opportunity, and just kind of died there in the blue paint.
Clean win for Benito. Held up at the red line. hREDS back into their own zone. Villapoika's pass broken up. Flyer Kungen gets it to Potzloff. Good hesitation, but the play was red. And hREDS in control. 7.5 minutes to go. But having trouble working their way, not even just into the Frölunda, zone, but really through the neutral zone. On the red line, loose puck all the way back down to the far side. Eki gonna win that foot race, sends it across. Couldn't hit Pawanso. Pops off to the point flyer. Kungan shot high and wide. Sustelia down low. Pawanso tried the back skate in front. Pass up ahead off the mark. Covered by Flyer Kungan. Sustelia, miscommunication, offsides the call. Just over 4 minutes to play in the first.
A nice idea, though, to try to delay everyone right there and then hit the man with speed coming through the middle. We've seen that work quite a bit, but timing a bit off with that. It's still hard to pull off against hREDS because their pokes at the line just seem to kind of be everywhere all at once.
Flyer Kungan along the half wall, battling forward in the corner. hREDS down the other way. They do gain the line. Loose puck. Along the half wall, it's Nikki Dangles. Finds its way towards the middle, and again, Frölunda able to recover. Here's Eki, poked away. Living up to the expectation of a defensive battle between two of the top teams in the Elite Division this season. For the top teams in general, former championships, former champions, again, for different teams. I mean, these are two all-star lineups. Certainly not playing this like an all-star game. Those defensive efforts are on point so far. As Eki. Good hesitation move. Brings it down low. Pawanso now in the corner. The back from Sustelia. Eki to Potzloff. Just broken up. One more time for Eki. He draws the call. And Frölunda will have a power play heading into the second period. Still scoreless, though, through the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't quite see the infraction right there, as I guess we'll get a... No, actually, well, I guess we won't find out what the actual call is, but nonetheless, you said it. Nice power play opportunity coming up for Frölunda in that second period. It's going to be harder for them to get things set up, as they do have to start from the neutral zone, but I mean, not a whole lot of shots, but the time on attack for Frölunda versus hREDS right there. I don't think we've ever seen that. Never seen hREDS limited only that much time, but if you're Frölunda, you have 3 minutes time in attack and just one registered shot. You're going to have to find more ways to put pucks on net and test Teme.
Yeah, certainly not a common occurrence to see hREDS held to that little time on attack. The penalties did not help. And of course, they take another one. They'll start off this second period. A short-handed situation. And again, as always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalon Lakritzy. Game 1 of 2 between these two clubs, their regular season matchup. A one-timer for Eki blocked, and the puck is cleared down yet again. hREDS had a very strong PK effort on the first minor penalty taken. And they continue. That was expertly done by Domi.
Yeah, they're just perfect. Getting the range to make that poke right there and stop anything from happening.
He dangles the intercept. Thought he might have drawn the trip, and he has. The ref signifying a delayed call. As hREDS kill as much of the clock as they can. And they'll have their own chance on the power play. We'll have 9 seconds of 4-on-4 time, but Potzloff heads to the box.
Yeah, and it's just trying to keep that alive on the power play. Keep that zone possession going right there. But, yeah, just not the right time to poke necessarily in that situation. So, yeah, the man coming out of the box by hREDS really quickly. If they can get possession here, maybe keep it away, they can get that extra guy there. But a nice tie-up.
Indeed, it's Sustelia now, head of steam. Great handles to work it into open space. A good way to start the kill for Frölunda. 30 seconds down. The 2-minute minor penalty to Potzloff. hREDS in the attacking zone. It was a rarity in the first period. Teemu shot deflected. Good stop by Hansen. Domi, opportunity there, swing and a miss on the 1T from Villapoika. Domi and Teemu, they love those swaps. Here's Teemu yet again, puck knocked loose, Eki has it. Couldn't work his way through, final 5 seconds. Here's Benito, centering feed broken up. We're back to 5-on-5. A good play there by Domi. Frölunda were looking for that quick counter. Locked down low now. Sestellia to Palonzo. Quick movement here for Frölunda. The miscommunication there, and offsides the call.
Zone entry is hard to come by, but we haven't seen a whole lot of dump and chase coming out from either team. They're trusting their controlled entries a bit more, and they have been able to get into it, not with a high level of frequency, but that's just not going to be the case against either of these two teams who are so good on their own blue lines.
Loose puck here, recovered by Palonzo. Back to the point, now Sestellia keeps his way out of trouble. Continuing to work from the corners are Frölunda. Trying to earn that space in the middle. Shot blocked down. Alonso, it's turned over. Villapoica now for hREDS. Up ahead, Nikki Dangles to the point. And again, back down into that corner. Entering feed, opportunity, puck knocked loose. All the makings of a defensive Game 7. Flyer Kungan dropped down as he crossed the blue line. It's Benito. Working with Domi. Centering feed broken up. Eki able to get it over the red line and all the way into the hREDS zone. Palonzo spin. That one kept out by Teme. Once again low, he scores! What a feed to Eki, and Frölunda have the breakthrough. It's 1-0.
Eki, well deserving of that goal because it's thanks to him that puck even got into the zone. An excellent play in the neutral zone, kind of beating Domi wide, and then he clutched the puck back to the middle to avoid Teemu, who came over to support, and that's what started this whole possession. Good work down low. Palonzo, perfect. Just holds off and then kicks that puck back to the middle when Eki has body position. Great goal there from Frölunda, and they have a 1-0 lead.
Eki's goal is 15th in 15 games played. One timer, that one just goes over the top of the net there, off the back glass. Need for Frölunda, a well-earned, well-deserved goal. hREDS. So they have to amp up the pressure here a little bit. Nikki Dangles for Teemu. Can't get that pass through. Good poke check to knock it back, but Frölunda still in control. Teemu able to gain the line. Brings it all the way to the corner. Bumped off by Palonzo. Teemu, though, able to get it back. It's Domi now. Working it in that far side corner. He Dangles and Domi going to work D-to-D. One-timer deflected. Good kick save by Hanselinho. Frölunda again finding that breakthrough. Play the style they want to play. Potzloff, the big spin, still has it. Glove saved by Teme. What an opportunity for Potzloff. Individual efforts, the difference is so far. Here's Eki. He's stopped by Teme. hREDS netminder doing everything he can to keep his team at a 1-goal deficit as we hit the final minute of play here in the second period. Wraparound bid, that one denied as well. He Dangles, reverses. Final 10 seconds. hREDS being bailed out by their netminder. Can they get one late? Puck in the corner. One back. Potzloff will kill the clock, and Frölunda, you could argue, unfortunately, with just a 1-goal lead, but it was this goal here from Eki that did it.
Yeah, again, just great work down low to open that up, and not a whole lot the goaltender can do right there. He's got to still be cognizant of the opposite side, too, as you could still always go for that wrap or the pass back to the other way, but you can see the defense of hREDS. 3 men over there on that side, which left Eki more so alone. The only person who could cover him right there was the winger, and they're going to have such a hard time getting body position in that situation because they have to come down from up high right there. So good decision by Palonzo to make the pass to that location. Good finish by Eki, and yeah, you said it. Again, still surprised. It feels like there's been more shots, especially for Frölunda here, but it's just the quality that Teme has been faced with. This is what we talked about, why you may not see some higher save percentages for Hanselinho or Teme's, because I mean, look at those low shot numbers, but these chances that are getting through are really high quality.
Third period about ready to begin. In the first game of 2 between these two clubs. Power play chances in this one, but it was the even strength goal for Eki that's the difference maker so far. With hREDS, it's cut back there from Domi. Teemu able to find Nikki Dangles. Back to the point. Teemu across. Great save again by Hanselinho. And that's the issue right now that hREDS are running into. You finally find good opportunities. You have someone who has consistently been one of the best goaltenders in the Sixes scene that you still have to try to find a way to beat. It's an embarrassment of riches for Frölunda in goal. Centering feed. Good contact there. Opportunity in front. But who's there yet again? It's Hanselinho and a big hit there by Palazzo.
Yeah, I think that was Domi up in the play right there. Perhaps it was Teemu getting a kind of whack at that one. Fortunate it didn't go in for Hanselinho, but he was in good position for it.
Down the other way. Potzloff dropped it off. Nobody home. Able to get it back. Drops back for Flyer Kungen. hREDS again able to force that turnover. Up the middle, Nikki Dangles. Villapoika tried to go back. Expertly played there by Potzloff. Eki. Nobody home on that pass. Gonna take a moment of brilliance or a gigantic mistake, perhaps, to find the breakthrough. Don't want to bet on bounces, of course, but hey, you never know. The name of the game. Villapoika for Benito. Back down low, Nikki Dangles stifled by that poke check of Potzloff. Domi and Teemu the switch, a bit too telegraphed. Good job by Teemu to win it back. Puck continues to bounce. One back, Polanco tried the short side. No space given up by Teme. Halfway through this third period, puck down low, one back, centering feed. Potzloff's again there. Gonna clog up the slot. Gets the puck back. A lot of quick changes in possession. Owanza. Sustelia stepping up to keep it in. Work back to the point. Flyer Kungen brings it over to the other side. They're trying to get that defense moving and catch them on the shift. Now Sustelia throws one on. Stopped by Teme. Rebound handled by hREDS. Good movement. Here's Benito. Centering feed. Villapoika had a little bit of space. But Hanselinho's there yet again.
Frölunda doing such a good job closing down the middle of the ice, and they're doing it kind of with controlled aggression right here. They're collapsing when they need to, yes, but at times they're getting quite aggressive in the right situations, whether they're not exactly giving hREDS the boards, which is good because that's where hREDS can cause a lot of damage and can just flat out beat a collapse sometimes. So I really like what Frölunda's doing. They have good close support, and you know the forwards are pressuring those point guys, not allowing them to work freely, not allowing to get those switches off freely, as we saw earlier. Eki getting that poke check off, and on the defensive side, Nasucelia and Flyer Kungen pressuring the men in the corners there, trying to force them to get rid of that puck just a split second before they want to.
On the back of the net, Nasucelia. Up the middle, it's Potzloff. Nikki Dangle's able to take it away. Interception here by Eki. He's had a phenomenal game. He's the game's lone goal scorer. Still battling low in the corner. Loose puck. Flyer Kungen centering feed to Potzloff. Knocked away by Teemu. Frölunda still in possession. Nasu couldn't get a lot on that backhand. Villapoika held off by Flyer Kungen. Now 4 minutes to go here in regulation. Flyer Kungen again. Gets it up to Potzloff. Eki turns it over. Benito. Villapoika scores! One turnover too many for Frölunda. hREDS have tied this game late in the third period.
And that's the mistake that hREDS needed. Eki got caught too high in the zone. Flyer Kungen got caught too high on that transition play. You're going to see it right here. The initial turnover. And that's just too much. Oh, yeah, it was right. It was Eki right there. And Flyer Kungen having to jump over to cover the left-hand side, overcommits just a little bit, and that's what opens up the space on the back door.
So a tie game here. Villapoika the goal. Just his 9th of the season, a shockingly low total for someone of his history. This one dropped back. Stalia over for Potzloff. Frölunda led for a good portion of this game. Flyer Kungen to Nasu, down low. Potzloff in front. Pawanso nearly got that to the forehand. Opportunity for Eki. Bouncing puck, kept out. It's Benito. Offside's the call.
42.4 left. I don't think we're going to see either of these teams taking their foot off the gas. Again, you're going to overtime. Yes, you get a point, but you essentially give the other team a point too. And when you're this close in the standings, you want to try to get those 2 points without allowing another point. So let's see if we find a late goal here.
hREDS looking to take their time. Jump into the far corner. Perfectly done. Villapoika. Holding. Can hREDS steal this game late in the third period? It's Domi. One-timer save. Loose puck. Rebound was there. Asustelia played it well. Flyer Kungen can't break up the middle. Final few moments. One more chance here for hREDS. It's Benito across. Shot glove save. Hanselino. And that will secure overtime and a point apiece for these two teams. Better late than never for hREDS. Got to be a frustrating turn of events, though, for Frölunda.
Yeah, just that one mistake, especially considering some of the chances that they had earlier and even later in that period, too, with some bouncing pucks in front. That's an excellent save by Hanselino. We won't see it right here on the replay, but it's also such a good pass it's such a smart play by hREDS, because when you're coming from that left-hand side of the ice and you make a pass, a lot of people are thinking that's coming, okay, more towards the middle, more towards the opposite side. You want to try to get the goaltender moving laterally, and you can start to cheat over to that right-hand side. Hanselino didn't do that because he read that Domi was also coming in. The pass was made to him as he's cutting back to the left to get that shot away to that short side. Hanselino's there and makes the save. These are just little things that, kind of separate the elite from everyone else, essentially, and Hanselino did it there extraordinarily well. They get the overtime there, but just look at that time on attack for Frölunda. Got to get a few more shots, though, I think.
Overtime ready to begin. Of course, sudden death. The format here, next goal wins. They'll secure their team the second point in the standings. Of course, a second game coming up between these two teams. Incredibly valuable points on the line. What a move by Benito. Shot. Good stop there. Nicky Dangles denied by Hanselino. A move for Villapoika. Gets around Flyer Kungen. Nicky Dangles tried to pull backhand. Flyer Kungen head of steam now. Down the other way, battling with Domi along the half wall. Centering feed knocked away. Quick movement here from hREDS, but a miscommunication as the pass is stopped, and so did the play.
Yeah, I always knew the blue line was going to be a high point of contention here, but a couple nice chances for either team early on in this overtime here. Oftentimes we'll see a bit of a chess match start forming as no one wants to overcommit, but I like kind of the decisiveness and aggressiveness coming out from either side.
Intercepted here by Domi. Gotta wonder if the style will change. Will there be that little bit of extra aggression to try to force the issue? Or do you wait for another mistake? Or maybe a fortunate bounce? Alonso. Face in the corner, and you can see hREDS. I mean, for a moment, they weren't being as aggressive to chase out to the corner. Pawanso draws the trip. And hREDS will go to the power play here in overtime. Nicky Dangles to the box for the second time tonight.
Huge, huge opportunity for Frölunda that they cannot let go to the wayside here. They had an opportunity early on, and they couldn't really get a whole lot established. Some early chances, but then the second they lost that line, it was hard to get back. This face-off is even more magnified.
And two of the best in terms of face-offs as well. Clean win for Potzloff. The set play was a little bit broken up. Big hit there. Eki battling Villapoika. This one off a flyer Kungan. And Eki go to work. Alonso. Switch. Nasistelia back with him. The centering feed. Intercepted by Domi. And the puck is cleared. Getting the charge. The defense trying to make something happen, but it's broken up. Again, Sin, we've seen it. Just the difficulty, like you mentioned, that teams can have trying to get back into the O-zone on a power play situation, even though hREDS are a man down. Face off the aggressive set, but hREDS win it. Trouble there for Domi on the clearance attempts. Frölunda win it back. One timer blocked, and Domi clears this time. Potzloff. Good protection move. We are back to 5-on-5. Alonso for Eki. Alonso tried to shovel it in from the odd angle. Eki. Back to the point. Nasistelia runs into a bit of trouble. Potzloff back to Eki. And a nervous moment there for Teme, but he's able to squeeze the pads and freeze the puck.
Yeah, do you like the forecheck of Frölunda coming in here? They're forcing a lot of turnovers, a lot of time at attack. Of course, some of that is due to the power play opportunities, but they've also played quite well. Once they have gained the zone, they're good at keeping it in there. It's just hard for them to get chances.
Over the line. Puck turned over, and again, a battle for it. Alonso. High in the zone. Eki there to help out. It's hREDS down the other way. Benito throws it in front. Loose puck recovered. Alonso on the off wing. Nasistelia now in space. Flyer Kungan looking at his options. Alonso from the odd angle. Good blocker stop by Teme. hREDS back in on attack. Villapoika runs right into Eki. Potzloff over Nasistelia. Shot. Loose puck bounces around and out to the half wall. Another great stop by the hREDS goaltender. Alonso just trying to bulldoze his way into the slot. Final 4 minutes of this first overtime. We've called it Marathon Mondays in the past. Could this be another example? As Frölunda Sin right now, they're doing everything they can to try to get hREDS moving along that blue line. Easier said than done. Space, Alonso, short side save. Loose puck, still chipping away. And hREDS find it. The real-time 2 minutes now in effect. Got by Potzloff to find Alonso, but he couldn't hold it. Nasistelia, it's going to be offside with 1:42 to go.
Just a chess match right now between these two teams. Not much else that you could say about it. Both of them want the middle of the ice. Both of them want clean zone entries. They're hard to come by and even harder to get those shots, even if you get it into position. We saw just the chaos in front of Teme on that last Frölunda possession. Just couldn't find it.
Down low, Eki, the goal scorer for Frölunda. Couldn't do anything with it. Eki again up ahead for Potzloff. Down low, quick movement, feed in front again. hREDS are there. A defensive battle. Neither team wanting to fall short. Somebody will. It's a matter of time. But another duel for the ages Here's Potzloff, poked away. Again, intercepted. Back and forth, the defensive efforts. Big hit there, Potzloff. Nearly off his feet. Hawk knocked loose for the moment. 24 seconds in this overtime. But the 95 Devils playing a mirror match. Potzloff over the line. Final 8. Here's Eki to the point. Flyer Kungan fakes the shot. Now Sustelia deflection bid. That one doesn't go. And that will do it. Double overtime on deck between hREDS and Frölunda.
Hard to really break that down beyond just saying that's two elite defensive teams kind of going head to head. There was a couple chances for both sides, but the ones that could have been those A-grade opportunities never amounted to much because of the defensive coverage. That's just simply kind of what it comes down to. And I mean, yeah, we played 4 periods, just 10 shots apiece for both sides. Tons of possession for Frölunda, more than doubling what hREDS have. It's just hREDS are just completely taking away the middle of the ice. That's all they're focused on. They don't want those down low passes to turn into down low shots. That's what they're focused on taking away. And by doing that at times, they know how to position themselves. They know how to move precisely so that if that puck does get kicked up back to the top, they're already kind of in position to shot block as well. It's so hard to be able to generate offense against them.
Second overtime about ready to begin. We'll treat it like the second period and remind you, as always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalon Lokritzy. Again, this is just game 1 of 2 between hREDS and Frölunda. Things are getting just a little bit spicy out there. And you do have to be careful in those moments. I have drawn quite a few penalties without my opposition players hitting a button, simply because I slashed them first and stood next to them. So you always want to be careful in those moments like that. We await to see who will get it done. Again, Eki and Villapoika, the goal scorers. A very slow start for hREDS in this game. 30 some odd seconds of time on attack in the first period. They've gotten some phenomenal goaltending from Teme. Benito looking to hold up. Finds space. Villapoika poked away by Nasustelia. Benito looking. Good poke check again. As the defensive battle continues. A clash of the Titans. The kickoff week 3 shot. Rebound knocked away. Omi finds Villapoika. Job there by Pawanso. It's Frölunda the attacking zone opportunity. They can't hold it for long. Win it back off the loose puck. Eki. Can't hold it. Numbers here for hREDS if they could generate the speed. Benito knocked away. He had the backhand, but the defense saves the game. The close calls continue, so does the game. Potzloff. No way to fight through. Big contact there, but Domi still in possession. See the aggressiveness in the neutral zone. Good hit there by Frölunda. Villapoika finds some space. Loose puck towards goal. Big kick save. Hansalino point blank denies Nicky Dangles.
That was a massive save right there. I totally thought the game winner was about to happen. Somehow we got that leg over in time, just shifted slightly to the left. But we're seeing hREDS do that quite a bit in this, is when they get that puck to the middle, they just try to overload, outnumber the defense in the slot, and it's led to a couple close calls.
Again, this is why I beg, I plead, amongst other things, such as spectator mode, but I beg and plead EA for us to have different overtime options because this could go for a couple more hours at this rate between these two teams. You just never know, no matter how high quality the chances are. Two phenomenal goaltenders in net. And you could argue, of course, for both teams that the two goaltenders playing tonight aren't even the team's primary options in goal, at least if it were to be, hey, Game 7 playoffs, who do you want in the net? Here's Nicky Dangles. Draws a call. hREDS maybe going to the power play, and indeed they are. I was going to say, unless they could end it. Boarding on Nasustelia. We're outright checking from behind, should I say. That was the boarding call. There we go. I didn't really get a good look at it. I had to look over to the different part of the screen there. I mean, boarding calls, you know, they don't need to be checks from behind. Huge opportunity for hREDS.
Yeah, it really is. Maybe borderline call, but this is, again, an opportunity for hREDS. Frölunda missed on their opportunities. Will hREDS be able to capitalize?
Vilipoika maybe looking for that wraparound. Emu and Domi the swap. Nicky Dangles has it poked away. Benito. Back to the point. Vilipoika in front, knocked away, unable to be cleared by Eki. Loose puck, a lot of quick changes. hREDS still in the zone. Stepping in, break out the Michigan. Let's see it. Domi. Tape to tape, D to D deflection, rebound, kicked out Hanselinho. He had time to recover. Another shot, another save, and finally cleared away by Potzloff. Nearly 2 straight minutes of ozone time on that power play. The game continues as we get to the real time 2 minutes of this second overtime. Domi a bit of trouble, but hREDS recover. Emu with a big poke check. hREDS trying to work it back. Nicky Dangles, Benito across, stopped by Hansu, and another kick save on Vilipoika. The reaction time, the foot speed of Hanselinho denying hREDS. Here's Vilipoika. Down low. Rotating out. Benito again sends it low. Vilipoika's there. Domi, shot doesn't get through. Loose puck recovered. Sim, one of our talking points heading into game 2 is going to be the great performance of Teme. Hansu making sure he's going to be involved in that conversation.
I mean, yeah, both of these goaltenders have made massive saves. Finally see the dump and chase coming out.
Handled well. Flyer Kungan takes the hit. Nicky Dangles, good physicality there as well. 38 seconds to go. Turnover here. Eki to Potzloff. Tried to go back. It's not there. Poke check. Space here, perhaps. At least as much as they're going to find. Low shot. The rebound was there. The defense played it well.
I love that from Poanso right there. Just throwing that on, hoping for a fortunate bounce. They got it, but Eki couldn't quite get to that puck in time.
Loose puck recovered. Nicky Dangles, final few seconds. This one goes all the way back. Triple overtime on the agenda, and it's just game 1 for Frölunda and hREDS.
Kind of running out of talking points at this point, as we've seen a lot of the same things. Finally, some different looks there from Frölunda at the end. That kind of dump and chase coming out, but it wasn't the flip dump. They just kind of shot that one into the corner. Potzloff had some space to get to it. I think he elected to try for the chop and missed it. And they couldn't get a big sustained possession out of that, but that was great pushback from hREDS in that period. They really closed the gap on the time on attack. They had a really, really good overtime period. Of course, the power play helping out in that regard. But Hanselinho, it was his turn to step up and make some massive saves, and absolutely did that multiple times in that period. Still looking for a winner heading in to a third overtime period. It's essentially 2 games for the price of 1, Tugi.
Indeed it is. Third overtime. There must be a winner. It's just a matter of when. I believe it was a 4, if not 5, overtime game that had us coin the term Marathon Monday. Asustelia down low. Oof, the feed in front. Potsloff just couldn't get it. Again, the first game of 2 between these two teams. A little bit earlier on, we saw Nordic Stars. A little bit earlier on, it feels like yesterday. Potsloff passed it! And it was nearly own goal. I can't believe he tried to pass that puck. Just stunned. hREDS shot, saved by Hansu.
There was no one there.
Maybe overthinking it is all I can say.
He could have gone backhand there and at least gotten a shot away. Yeah, there's no one there on that pass.
Becky down low. Potsloff couldn't get it short side, still has it. Banked it off the back, Crosby-esque. But hREDS in control. When you perhaps try too hard to not make mistakes, that's when mistakes can happen. Frölunda trying to work their way into the attacking zone yet again. Great spin by Pawanso. Centering feed, kept out. Eki has it. Puck still bouncing around. Now it's hREDS' turn. Only momentarily. Great defense by Nasustelia. How long can these two teams hold on until there's a mistake, a bad bounce? Nasustelia up ahead, off a skate, foot race for it. Villapoika recovers along the half wall. Weaves his way into the attacking zone. Benito back to Villapoika. Domi, Teemu, save, rebound save! And Hanselino covers. Outrageous.
Yes, his movement right there was just so controlled in the blue paint. It didn't overcommit like at all. Moved perfectly. Almost looked like an AI.
Shot stopped again. Another opportunity doesn't go. hREDS throwing everything they can at Hanselino. As the goals against average for both goaltenders are plummeting by the second. Six minutes left in this third overtime. As Potsloff. Back to Flyer Kungan. Down low again. Domi turns it over. The bouncing puck controlled by hREDS momentarily. Battle for it as they cross the line. Here's Teemu. Frölunda in control. Frölunda have to circle back. Get some stamina back. And once more, as we approach the real-time 2 minutes. I don't know if we've ever seen a series where teams might just say, hey, let's pick this up and play the last game at a different date, but if it keeps going like this, they might have to. It's getting late over there. Bouncing puck, Pawanso. Trying to hold possession, swarmed by hREDS. Here's Benito. Poked away, and nearly some friendly fire on Hanselino. Unlike some opportunities early on, as we get a look at some of the saves earlier, Hanselino was in the right spot. That post was sealed. As Pawanso leads it in. Puck knocked loose. Domi up ahead. We're going to need an intermission after this one, aren't we? I think everyone's going to want one. Nicky Dangle, centering feed! Hanselino is there again! Well, it feels like a playoff game because he's playing like deep in the playoffs, Vasilevsky. My God, here's Benito. Shot, glove, save! Hanselino Oh my God.
What is this man right now? Unreal play out of Hanselino. It should be over a couple times at least for hREDS, and Hanselino just standing on his head.
A lesser goaltender. This game's over long ago as he pounces on the loose puck. One of the finest goaltending displays in recent memory, if not that we've ever seen, at least in Sin and I's time here over the past 4 years. Outrageous. And an icing call here.
I mean, yeah, the closest thing that I could think of was some of the saves in the World Finals between Rampage and Nikkei. They were just going head-to-head, making unreal stops, but yeah, in a pure ECL setting, I can't remember the last time. Maybe Game 7 of the previous ECL Finals.
55 seconds to play. As hREDS trying to find space, and they do. Here's Benito on the protection. Can't get it through. Domi has to send it back down low. Villapoika. Benito's with him. Frölunda settle. And look to find an attack of their own. Here's Powanzo, the back. Oh, the backspin. Just couldn't find the follow-up play. Hotzloff over the line. Teemu takes it away. 15 seconds. Puck nearly turned over. The final 10. Domi stifled at the line by Eki. One more shot, perhaps. 3 overtimes are not enough. We go to a 4th. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I honestly don't have words. It could have been over multiple times for either team. Maybe you could argue should have been over with some of those chances hREDS have been getting down the stretch here. And Hanselino's just come up big. Did Frölunda get a shot in that period?
I'm not sure. Sin, it's at the point where people in chat are debating, like, hey, what's the longest game? And researching what the longest game is that we've ever had. And we're getting there.
We are. We have now officially gone through 120 minutes of gameplay here, and wow, just there could be. I don't know. Again, there's only so many talking points that we have up to this point. At this point, you just have to react to what's happening. And goodness gracious.
The 4th overtime is underway. A return to Marathon Mondays of years past, sent across and squeezes the pads to keep it out.
I think we may be seeing a lot more of that from either of these two teams, just throwing stuff towards them because they're having trouble beating the goaltenders or even making the clean passes through to get shots on.
That's what you have to do at this stage. I mean, it has just been a stalemate. Go for the low-quality stuff because 1, rebounds, 2, you never know what might sneak in. Shot, glove, save, Teme denies Eki.
We saw a hot glove at one end from Hanselino in the last overtime. That time, Teme coming up huge, a dangerous location for Eki to shoot that from, and Teme gloves it down.
We continue on. Powanzo. Unable to hold it. Eki. For checking presence. Good poke check by Potzloff. Tried to send it back down low. Villapoika. Can't find the space. Powanzo stripped of the puck by Domi. Eki dangles. Doesn't like what he sees. We'll cut back. Benito. Broken play offside is the call. And we continue on. See the hits there as well. Off the draw. It is Frölunda in control. Flyer Kungan up ahead, bouncing puck. Nikki Dangle struggling with Polanco. One-timer blocked down. Great poke check there, though, by Nasustelia. hREDS have to reset. Benito takes the hit from Potzloff. Nikki Dangle's on the intercept. Filipoika save, rebound, scores! 4 overtimes. hREDS take game 1. And everybody breathe.
It's over. Great job by hREDS. They just went back to what they kept doing, looking for the rebound plays. A good shot, good location to take that. Benito crashing the net right there, and finally one that Hanselinho can't get back for. And again, if you go back about 10 periods, we think back to when, Frölunda had the 1-0 lead, and they weren't able to get that important second goal. And had some chances here and there, a few different power plays, weren't able to score, and they failed to get that second point. They do get 1 point out of that, but when you play for that long, nothing but the 2 points will satisfy you here. So interested to see how they come back into the second game, or if they're just going to go to sleep at this point. I have no idea, but that was 2 games plus worth of time, and it was just 1 game of this 2-game set.
I mean, Sin, you mentioned it. Frölunda started off the scoring. Eki's goal in the second period. 4 full periods of play, and they still could not find that second goal. A great performance from Teme, an unbelievable performance from Hanselinho, who was let down by his team.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, like, as harsh as it sounds, you had the face-offs, you had the time on attack, but those 12 shots, man, I mean, at a certain point, and I guess we're going to see a bit of a restart here, perhaps. We'll see what's up with that, but
look at
a certain point, Sin, like, it's just one of those things where, again, like, man, you said it, we played over 2 full games, you had 13 shots. At a certain point, you gotta know when to just be like, to start throwing it on. And they had their moments where they started to do that. Polanco, a great low shot, and I think the first overtime, if not the second. It's a little bit surprising that Frölunda tried to kind of stick to that strategy as much as they did when they did have space to shoot. Yes, it's tough to try and find those shooting lanes. hREDS are great at blocking them, but still, it was kind of a surprising turn of events there. We are going to take a brief moment, as should all of you. Get up, stretch, grab a drink. We might be here for a while. We'll be back. The second game between Frölunda and hREDS coming up. God help us. Alrighty, everybody. We are back and just about ready to go for the second game. Set your watches. Between Frölunda and hREDS after a marathon game number 1. Before we get into that, though, a quick look at some of the results around the league as we are about ready to go for this second game. Of course, most of the other results have been filed in. Sin, what about that result there? Tunnel Vision just taking it to Hymo. That was not what I was expecting, at the very least, to see that one-sided of a matchup. You also had a split between Red Hawks Esport and ZSC, and Yippee Voskala pulling off the double over Reality Check.
Yeah, very good results for Yippee Voskala in particular, and I'm as shocked as you are to see Tunnel Vision just destroying Hymo in that regard. Kind of curious how they're getting their goals, because at times we've seen if you can't defend against, or if you can defend against Tunnel Vision and those chances that they like to get, you can very much keep them to low scoring, but not the case in that one, as they just picked apart Hymo.
I mean, when's the last time you saw 16 goals to 2 in an Elite Division matchup? I mean, that is a rarity, to say the least.
Yeah, especially in this day and age of the ECL Elite, where there's just so much parity in the league. Those have become much more rare, especially considering when teams jump up from the pro, they're fighting for playoff spots. Kind of gone are the days when it takes a while for teams to kind of go up into that. Goons sort of set the standard. Hymo has followed. Reality Check has followed. A lot of teams making it. Lexan's in a good position in the standings to make their first playoff appearance in their first ECL Elite season.
To your point, too, both Hymo and Tunnel Vision, of course, playoff teams. Last year, Tunnel Vision are defending Elite Division champions. Here's Eki, bit of space early on, perhaps for Frölunda. Sends one off the pads. Good chance there, but the defense able to recover. And a 2-1 hREDS victory in game number 1. Benito toe drag shot, good stop. Both goaltenders coming up big in the early stages. Hopefully more of that. Get some shots on. Boys, you know you're pretty evenly matched. And Frölunda find the opening goal early. It's Potzloff into the back of the open net after the Eki shot was blocked.
Yep, shots, everybody. Yeah, that's just a bounce, sure, but that comes from putting the puck on net. Eki found himself in a good position, pulled the trigger, and it bounced to Potzloff, cutting through the middle. It's a good job by Eki to delay. Got the shot through off of a leg, and yeah, Potzloff cutting in, puts it home on the short side. A good start for Frölunda, but highly doubt that one's going to be enough. It wasn't in the last one.
There's a shot off the post there. Close call for hREDS. Turnover, good poke check. Benito the opportunity. Eki takes it away. Honestly, both these teams defensively play that like boa constrictor-like style. And even in the offensive zone, they try to do that and force you into essentially as small of a collapsing box as they can, because then they can get the angles. But when both teams do that, Sin, and they're both so good at it, a lot of times you can just go back to basics. Like, this is one of the teams where that strategy might not necessarily be the best one, where it might be against 85% of the rest of the league. Simplistics can work. A good chance, a good save by Teme. Good hit there, though, by Villapoika. Took down Potzloff. Frölunda, the opening goal very early on in this game. Of course, again, they started the scoring in game 1 and did not find the back of the net for the rest of the game. Player Kungan to Eki. Wanzo tried that extra pass. Out there by now, Sestelia. Here's Pawanzo. Head of steam. Good defending. And going back to old tendencies, and hREDS are right there to snuff it out. Here's Domi. Back for Nicky Dangles. Temu. Miscommunication with Domi. Has to send it to the corner. Good poke check there. Flyer Kungan able to hold on. Gets it up to Eki. Little bit of space. Holds to the forehand. Couldn't pull the trigger. Couldn't draw a call. Potzloff. Rough turnover there. Opens up space for Villapoika. Can't get around the great defensive effort of Flyer Kungan. Eki again. Flyer Kungan fakes the shot. Back to Eki. Potzloff. Tried to delay. Trent's taken away again. Here's Villapoika. The centering feed nearly shoveled on goal there. Hansu's able to make the stop.
I believe that was Temu who had joined the rush, getting that last shot on. Benito also in the vicinity, but once again, Hanselino shows his excellent puck tracking ability and keeps it out.
And up along, it's Eki. Space there, 5.5 to play in the first period. A 1-0 Frölunda lead, this one towards goal. Anselino sends it down ice. Potzloff to Pawanzo, the spin. Down low, Eki in front, great stop by Teme. Point blank denying Potzloff, as both goaltenders have put on a show in this series so far. Flyer Kungan able to recover. Look to slow it up. Contact there by Pawanzo. Can't get the pass back from Potzloff. He's been snake bitten tonight. Just an uncharacteristic amount of turnovers.
Yeah, and that was one right there where they had kind of Temu out of position. He got back well enough, but he didn't use the boards on that pass, and that's what allowed him to turn it over.
Low it's Eki, wanted Palazzo, would have been on the backhand, scramble for the puck. Eki dangles, gets it out just out of the reach of Villapoika, and a tough break for hREDS. Icing is the call, opening up space for Frölunda here.
Yeah, 5.8 seconds, enough time. They're not in the aggressive set. They want to try to set something up quick, though. They lose the face-off. Teemu finally do get it out. Kill off the rest of the time.
That'll do it for the first period. A momentum shift, to say the least. I mean, it is easy to forget. Hanselinho made a big save. Set up Frölunda down the other way to score the game's opening goal.
And it's the difference maker right now is this play. Eki delaying in that slot, getting the shot away. Sure, it's blocked, as hREDS is so good at, but it still bounces to a fortuitous position, and that's why pulling the trigger can be a good thing. Once again, Frölunda having the advantage in time on attack. A few more shots in this one than they had in the last one, at least early on. I believe after the first, they only had 2 shots on to hREDS 1, so a few more shots in general for either of these two teams, so slightly more willing to pull the trigger. And, well, we've seen a lot of goals scored like that, so hopefully both of these squads will kind of look to continue to do that. hREDS obviously got the game winner off of it. Frölunda got the first goal in this one because of it. So we'll see how often they want to try to return to that well and not get caught back in the trap of trying to only look for those high-quality opportunities that both teams really know how to defend against.
Second period underway. As always, the action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lakritsi. Domi into the attacking zone for hREDS. Throws a rocket pass on net. Ansu's there to cover.
Fortunate that he's able to just swallow that up. That looked like a sauce in the air. Sometimes those just bounce off the goaltender's pads into awkward positions. And he's able to get the stop there and slow things down.
Unity there. Puck down low. Nicky dangles. Reverses it. Player's too close for that to be on target. MA plays that very well, not taking any chances. Step up there by Nasustelia to keep the puck in the attacking zone. Just bullied out of the zone, though, by Nicky Dangles. Miscommunication. hREDS with the puck deflected just wide. Shoveled on off the post. The outside, it rings. Wants it somehow in. Nasustelia looking back to the forehand. May have been poke checked. Teme able to make the save regardless.
Great job to jump into that play by Nasustelia, all alone kind of on that left-hand side. Made a good move, and as he was pulling the trigger, yeah, not too sure if it was a leg or a stick that got into that prevented that shot from getting away clean. Nonetheless, good recovery defense by hREDS.
Shot, save the rebound, taken away at the last possible moment. Those low shots are really starting to pay off. Up ahead, Benito. Poked away. Good job there by Nasustelia to avoid the net front. Wraps this one around. Flyer Kungen's pass off the mark, but on net. Teemu. Stifled at the line by Palazzo. Quick changes in possession. And you see it in chat, sportsgamer.gg/ECL prediction. Almost out of time to get your predictions in for who you think will win this season, of course. Got to get the placements right, 1 through 16. Prize is going to those who can accurately predict what the final standings will look like after 30 regular season games played. Here's Villapoika, gets it back across. Good stop, Hanselinho. Another opportunity with the puck in a dangerous area for Lund to get it out. An offside call here.
Quick transition attempted by Frölunda right there. Again, good recovery defense by hREDS. Even when you outnumber them, it's so hard to get past the blue line.
Of course, as well, a lot going on here at Sports Gamer. The Finnish Championship wrapping up this week. Penalty called here, hREDS. May just be going to the power play. Good stop by Hanselinho, and indeed, hREDS, with the man advantage to the box goes Nasustelia.
Didn't quite see the infraction on the play. I'm sure we'll get perhaps another brief look at it right here, but nonetheless, okay, yeah, just he only went down for a second, so it was a poke at the blue line that did it. Huge opportunity for hREDS here to get things back even.
Time face-off. Clean win for Potzloff. Flyer Kungen clears it down. And mention the Finnish Championships coming up. We'll have Pro Division coverage tomorrow. More on that at the end of this cast. And of course, feed in front there. Trouble. And is it trouble with Anselino? Maybe not. Also wanted to mention, of course, the Madden Academy tournament coming up on the 20th, later on this month. sportsgamer.gg/Madden for all the information that you need there. An easy-to-enter tournament. And a one-timer, my goodness. Can he make it look any easier?
I mean, it seemed like he was there. He just knew it was coming. He was already there before the puck even arrived, well before the shot was taken. I mean, both of these goaltenders just been locked in.
Face off here in the Frölunda zone. Here's Eki. Oh my God, that was disgusting across. Teme able to cover. Eki's a magician, I swear. How did he get away with that? Here's Villapoika across, broken up, and it's in. There was a man down to protect the goal line, but it opened up space. Benito gets the credit. hREDS have tied the game on the power play.
That's that quick counterattack right there. Someone got caught kind of poking at the line. I believe that'd be Eki covering on the point right there. Kind of got beat. And then you saw Potzloff going down in the LB. We'll get a better look at it right here. But no, it's actually, yeah, Flyer Kungen actually was the one who got beat. Eki was still kind of recovering right there. Yeah, Potzloff, it was a good move. He did block the pass, but it allowed it to kind of trickle in.
My goodness, what a play there. Eki able to take it away. We are now tied at 1 apiece. 5 to go here in the second period. Puck bouncing around. Dangerous area. Teme able to keep that one out. Here's Villapoika. Puck down low. You could tell he wanted to get back to that short side. Nito, of course, wearing the golden helmet, his team leading scorer. Eki for Frölunda on the other side. Glove save, Anselino. My God. The glove saves from him have been unbelievable.
Yeah. He's
99 just, glove side.
Yeah, he's just on another level right now. I don't know what else to say. He's just playing perfectly.
Down low, centering feed off a leg in front. Final 90 seconds of the period. Big poke check sends it back into the Frölunda zone. Kungen up ahead. Still has it momentarily. Powanso bouncing. Puck dangerous. Area off the post. Potzloff found it. Shot it through. Off the post on the far side. We're still tied at 1.
And even though he has a goal in this game, you still got to feel snake bitten after an opportunity like that goes by the wayside.
Off the draw, Eki with the puck, centering feed, bouncing around, 3 seconds. Nicky dangles, back, shot, save, and the rebound. Bit too far out of reach. 2 periods down, at least 1 to go. We're tied at 1.
Yeah, we've seen this movie before, and you could call it a movie with how long that game went on, but the way these teams are threatening, you kind of have a feeling it may not get to that point once again, but don't never count anything out when these two teams go head-to-head. And I do feel like hREDS always kind of seem to be involved in these kind of games when we have those marathons. I think when we went to the quadruple overtime before, it was them versus Havu. Funnily enough, you got in this game, 4 different members of that former Havu team in this Frölunda lineup. Just something about all these high skill guys, the way they all play, they're just something about that makes them go just forever, and it's so hard to score. Getting a good look at that first goal here, and the response on the counterattack on the power play from hREDS, which opened things up. Just that bouncing puck that found its way in. Unfortunate for Frölunda, but it was a good rush play and attempt by hREDS.
The third period underway here. Interesting pickup there for Hanselino, showing off in every way that he can.
That was a bit awkward.
Next goal could very well win this. It almost feels like an overtime already. Here's Benito's shot off the leg of Flyer Kungen in front. He pressures him. Now it's Potzloff. Handing over to Palazzo. Gets absolutely floored, and Frölunda forced to reset. About 16 hours ago, we saw Nordic Stars pull off the double over Goons on the same broadcast. Again, Sin and I will be back here on Wednesday for more Elite Division action. That full schedule of what's coming up here on the channel this week on the conclusion of this game. We'll see if the schedule is intertwined. Sustelia. Patient. Gains the zone. Takes the hit. Aki wanted to go back to the short side. Flyer Kungen contact. Very aggressive game from hREDS right now in their own zone. Loose puck. Alonso couldn't track it down. Nicky dangles. Villapoika thought for sure that pass was coming his way.
And it was well played by Flyer Kungen, just constantly in that lane right there. Nicky Dangles didn't want to risk the pass. We're seeing that a lot of like kind of patience from either team in the neutral zone because they know how deadly those turnovers can be if they create a counterattack.
Amo to Domi. A little bit too predictable there for Frölunda. Back in control. Domi able to find Villapoika. hREDS trying to get going. Can they get past the Frölunda defense? Opportunity, the rocket pass back. Wrong jersey. Potzloff still had trouble handling that one. This is going to go down for icing.
Good opportunity for an offensive zone draw and a kind of rare icing call, or rare really mistake in that regard between either of these two teams. So Potzloff, big opportunity for him to help his squad out.
Face off. Puck back to the point. Will it indeed be next goal wins? Alonso centering feed for Potzloff, surrounded by hRED jerseys. Potzloff is poke checking so he doesn't get that clean intercept. Another offside call here against hREDS. 7 minutes and 6 seconds in regulation remaining.
Yeah, Nicky Dangle's just trying to pull that one back to avoid the sticks, the clutch right there. And you see that quite a lot, but often, can also put your teammates offside if they're expecting you to try to get it into the zone here. And everything has to be timed perfectly against these two teams who are so good at the line.
Puck intercepted yet again. Who will it be? Who will find that breakthrough? Good poke check. Here's Eki. Short side rip. Good glove save by Teme.
I like it right there. Kind of Eki not afraid to pull the trigger, and right there, definitely a good opportunity to do so. He didn't really have a passing lane, at least a clean one, so just testing the angles of Teme.
Another short side bid. Good stop there. Alonso's pass taken away. Benito's pass intercepted. Mistakes starting to add up. Loose puck. Covered by Eki. Potzloff. Miscommunication there. Offside's the call.
Yeah, I think he may have wanted Eki streaking in there with speed. Hit Puanzo instead. Could have actually made that work, but Eki just a little too much speed there trying to gain that line.
Dangle's able to recover. By Eki to take this one away. Feeds Palazzo. Villapoika, a little bit of space, centering feed, and 3 Frölunda jerseys there to take that one away. Temu back to the forehand, looking, can't get that shot through. Alonso's pass intercepted. Final 40 seconds of regulation. Here's Benito. In the corner, stripped of the puck by opposing center Potzlov. Went over the line. Good contact. Patience on display from Benito. Final few seconds. One more chance for hREDS, perhaps. Benito, it finds its way to Temu. Alonso takes it away. 3 seconds to work with. Flyer Kungin. And would you believe it? Overtime with a 1-1 scoreline. 9 periods of play. Technically more because we went into that 4th overtime. And we continue on here.
I mean, this is the first time we've really had a Marathon Monday living up to its true potential name. Frölunda once again the advantage of time and attack. Not as big of a spread, I don't believe. I don't know. There's so many periods played in that last one. You lose count of what numbers you saw and when exactly they were. Nonetheless, very similarly played. A few more shots apiece maybe at this stage. But again, it's hard to remember. What the important part is the score line is exactly the same as it was in that last one. So Frölunda at least securing 2 points out of today, but you know they'd love to get this goal and get 3, and then hREDS with 3, and kind of what more fitting of a way for this matchup to end between these two teams.
The poll is up in chat. How many overtimes will we see? That is a very good question, a very scary question. A loose puck is covered by Teme again. The first game, you get through 3 overtimes, so 6 full periods, plus the bit extra. 3 full periods of play here. Let's see what happens. Ozone draw for Frölunda. Clean win, though, for hREDS. The quick chip out to Villapoika. Tried that play quite a few times. Again, the Frölunda defense on point. Villapoika stripped of the puck. Gonna get through. Nasustelia kept that on side. Didn't look like it. Controversy, perhaps. God, the last thing we need is for this game to have reviewed goal calls for offside. Yeah. Back to Flyer Kungin. Being kept to the outside. Our Frölunda. Potzlov. Defense is all over it. Puck down low. Zeki will take the time to settle. hREDS back in possession. Both these teams, the question is for how long? The defensive pressure's been immense. Now Sustelia sends it down low. Of course, Sin celebrating a birthday yesterday, and well, don't you feel that much closer to the next one already?
Yeah, very much so.
Temu looking between the legs. Couldn't get through the traffic. That's a lot for Nasustelia. Back to the point. Again, the movement, but they're being held to the outside. Potzlov. The toe drag move. It was great, but again, contested. Short side opportunity for Villapoika. Potzlov trying to get out of trouble. Still yet to see either team take that pucks on net approach in this overtime. A lot of contact there.
The body's starting to fly all over the ice.
Ketzi has subbed in. Possession play there. Here's Temu for Domi. Emu, a little bit of trouble there. Frölunda have it. Eki immediately surrounded by hREDS. Poke check, flyer Kungan. It finds its way to Villapoika. Eki's there to assist. 4 minutes left in OT number 1. I have to say OT number 1 because you just get a feeling about how this is playing out. Lotzloff, good pick there by Palazzo. They're onside. Benito tries the cut to the middle. Trying every creative way to get to the middle, except for one. Alonso down low. Flyer Kungan bumped off by Domi. Loose puck. Back down. Asistelia for Palazzo. Tries again short side. Continually contested. It's Benito. Loose puck. Botsloff's there. The real time 2 minutes obviously in effect at this stage. Emu. Around the back of the net. Back to Domi. Benito. One-timer deflection. Great stop by Hanselino. The best chance of the overtime.
Yeah, it just dawned on me. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen a few more deflection opportunities for either of these two teams. And you guys just may have seen the poll on screen. A lot of people thinking there'll only be one OT. Well, you've got 59 seconds to be right.
At the risk of sounding incredibly sassy, imagine that. You do have to throw the puck on net to get deflection opportunities. There it is. Good shot. Teme was able to make those saves as well. But again, the puck in a dangerous area. One-timer. That one just missed. Great look to Domi, who was wide open at the point.
That was, once again, Benito doing his patented L skating right there to open up a pass.
Opportunity. Potsloff throws one on from an odd angle. Here's Benito. 20 seconds left in this first overtime. Drops back for Domi. Good poke check by Eki. Another poke check there by Palazzo. Domi will win that foot race. Uses the boards. Final few moments here. Potsloff takes it away. That's a lot of overtimes.
It's a lot of overtimes. We're now entering the sixth total. I mean, sure, that fourth one and the last one wasn't a full period played, but I mean, doesn't, you know, it kind of feels like it. It's unstoppable force, immovable object, any kind of cliche in the books that you want to throw at this. It's just what we're seeing right now. Just the best chances have, as you said, come at times when you just kind of throw that puck on net. And I wonder if we're going to see a bit more of that here as this game wears along.
A rare instance.
I don't know what to think anymore. This
The rare instance of wishing you were paid by the hour instead of salaried.
Yeah, right.
It's double overtime. Deja vu. Here in game 2. The action brought to you. They're getting their money's worth tonight. The action brought to you by our friends at Kovalan Lokritzy. We continue on. hREDS Frölunda. Loose puck bouncing around. Botsloff able to take that one away. I want to see people throwing it on from center ice at this point. Yeah, we might need you to start yelling, shoot. I never encourage people to be the shoot types, but here's Potsloff. Palazzo to Nasistelia. Palazzo again tried to feed it in front. Domi's pass intercepted on the back check. It's Potsloff. Gets through. The All-American boy. Domi across the Temu. Again, battling. Here's Eki. hREDS in control. Dangles Villapoica. Benito. Villapoica got a piece of it. And a lot of the posts. Here's Eki now. A little bit of space to work with. Not for long. Again, these two clubs against almost anybody else in this division. You wouldn't have a stalemate like that. Here's Potzloff. Poked away. The defense recovers. They score. Palazzo, the one-timer. And Frölunda, and hREDS for that matter, secure 3 points on the night, splitting these games in overtime.
That's just such a sick play between Potzloff and Palazzo. First, that saucer pass. What a poke from behind. Look at that wherewithal to just one-touch pass that off the boards into that high slot for the one-time opportunity. Palazzo, the hero. And well-deserved after that saucer pass to feed it to Potzloff to give him that possible breakaway look. It had to be this way, didn't it?
Of
3
course,
points
is
each.
what. Yep, I was just about to say that. Great minds, my friend. Great minds. Of course, they both ended up with 3 points on the night. Of course they did. Just to be that evenly matched throughout the entirety of these set of games, and of course, by the end of it, 3 points apiece. Outrageous.
I forget what time we started these games at, but over there in Helsinki, it is 3 minutes to midnight. So, get a good night's rest, boys. You definitely deserve it, possibly need it after that. Once again, Frölunda with the more time on attack. But,
the coffee, the Red Bull, the whatever. It's gonna hit strong tomorrow. Gonna be some early mornings for some people. My goodness. Sin, you said it at times. It's like, well, what more can we say about this matchup? And certainly, what more can we say about it? It was as defensive of a battle as we would have expected. Some tremendous goaltending displays. That was the big takeaway for me. Teme and Hanselino were outstanding. And if there were, I don't think there were any concerns about either team running that split. But, I mean, you could argue, you know, four of the top goaltenders are split between two different teams.
Yeah, pretty decent argument. For sure, Kape and Hanselino are two of the best. Teme, slightly more unproven. You know, you saw his old sweatshirt in that player picture, the IQ logo. You know, he hasn't always been on a top team, playing in more of a depth role for hREDS, but in this season with phases availability, more chances to step up, and well, he looked quite good. That last, I mean, the goals that went in on him, really both goaltenders, you can't really stop them. I mean, that's just what it takes to score. And we're going to look at that Potzloff. It's a perfectly timed poke. Perfectly timed poke for Domi. And that's what he brings to the table. But it's what Potzloff does after that. Just the perfect pass back to them. Did he sauce that? No, it's on the ice. For a second, it looked like he sauced it, but that would have been even more impressive. A great set of games between these two. Counting all the periods total, it was nearly 4 total games.
You know, we have the green screens up. We need this prepped for future broadcasts if that were to ever happen again, with just the math flying around our heads as we try to figure out just how long that lasted. We, of course, are just kicking off the start of a new week here at Sports. Oh, my God, that was fast. They don't pay you enough. They really don't. We have a lot coming up this week here at Sports Gamer, of course. The action continues tomorrow in the ECL Pro Division, as Sin will be on the call with to be determined. It might be myself, to be honest. Calling a couple of different series as well. Confirmed Neptune Hockey taking on Arctic at the very least. Sin and I will also be back on Wednesday for more Elite Division coverage. make sure to look forward to that as we have Erlboro Hockey taking on ZSC Esports. Big series for both of those teams as ZSC continue to try and push back towards a playoff spot. Erlboro Hockey finding themselves towards the bottom of the standings, looking to battle back. Of course, we saw Nordic Stars in action earlier on this broadcast. They will be back in action as well. And of course, the Finnish semifinals coming up. Of course, the 1v1 tournament as Sisu takes on Tampanen. And of course, Jamal the Man taking on Jessel as well. So down to the final four for the Finnish championship and the 1v1 side of things. And of course, the sixes side of things as well, known by a different name. But of course, the NHL 19 All-Stars taking on Nordic Stars in the Finnish final. And of course, sportsgamer.gg/ECL prediction. Make sure to get those in. Of course, now is the time to do it. Let us know 1 through 16 how you think the series, how the season and the standings will be at the end of the season. Prizes handed out to those who get it right and to those who come first as well in getting that right. And there's one more. Why not? Let's throw it out to that as well. The Madden Academy tournament. We'll mention that one more time. May 20th. Madden on the channel for the first time here at Sports Gamer. Of course, a free-to-enter tournament. All the information that you need with some game tickets and more cool prizes available for those at the top. sportsgamer.gg/Madden. Sin and I will be here for that as well on May 20th. Sin, how you holding up?
Football. Yeah.
Football. We need. I mean, hey, if we can get the numbers around my head, we should be able to get you a telestrator.
Yeah. Oh, straight up. I want to draw on stuff. I want to chalk draw on the plays.
The X's and O's that
Yeah.
Sin will be covering as we have so much coming up here at Sports Gamer. But for now, we're both going to go take a nap. Thank you very much for supporting us here at Sports Gamer. Again, we'll be back tomorrow with some Pro Division coverage. Until then, get some sleep, everybody. Good night.